Welcome back. How do you facilitate the participation of women-owned businesses in the core of South Africa's economy? It's the conversation tonight with the Acting Director General at the Department of Women, Youth and People with Disabilities, as well as with the BMF Gauteng Chair, Dr. Sibongile Vilakazi. Before the break, Dr. Vilakazi, you were saying you're quite elated about this initiative because it shows, I suppose, the urgency and the immediacy of wanting to act on this particular aspect of development. My question for you is, what has been so far been the inhibition to the implementation of the bringing in of women into the core of the economy?
Well, thanks for that. The main thing is, as a country, South Africa, we've got legislation that supports the cause of women. You know, we've got the intent. We know all the statistics and the information that talks about how women have been left behind in all areas of our economic participation. What has been really lacking has been a political will, you know, to make it a deliberate effort to sponsor women the same way that men have been sponsored for the past 27 years of this democracy. We've seen how men have been succeeding in some of their businesses because of the deliberate effort, specifically black men, because the agenda of transformation has largely focused mainly on racial developmental issues and less on women. As much as the intent has been there, in practice it hasn't been happening. So we are quite excited to be seeing such initiatives that are coming up now. I mean, I remember last year, for instance, I was part of an organization, a movement called Women of South Africa, and we were talking about these issues, that government needs to have a deliberate plan and monitoring some of these initiatives that are put in place for women to ensure that women are being developed. So the issue has really been a political will and a clear intent and monitoring some of the initiatives that we put in place, or the intent that we put out there to develop women. And we are excited that it seems now that time has come because it's quite critical. Without women in the core spaces of the economy, this country will not develop. I think we've seen that by now. We have to make it a focus. Women have to take the center stage. And I'm glad that we are here now when we are having this conversation. Hopefully we'll see it though.
Yeah. DG, with the targets and the monitoring and the tangible issues that you'll be looking at as part of this initiative, incorporated in this, is there a specific focus on women development funds? Because, I mean, you mentioned, of course, the issue of capacity building issues and financial support being one of the inhibitors to women participating, for example, in the automotive sector.
Okay. Let me first endorse the concern that was raised by my colleague around the issue of political will. The good part of it is that there is political will. We can see the President himself and the Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities are at the forefront of this initiative, spearheading the implementation of the issues, the recommendations that are arising from the Assembly itself. But also Cabinet have assigned 3 ministers to actually ensure the implementation of the very 40% procurement spend that we alluded to at some point during the seminar. The Assembly itself, the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy and the Minister of Tourism, by virtue of them being chairpersons of the economic clusters, and to our own minister to then monitor the implementation of all the issues arising from the cluster itself, but including the 40% procurement spend, and that involves all the government departments across spheres of government as well. So for us, the clear intent is there, the commitment is there, but we are also saying, let all of us work together, join us, let's have this collaborative. There's the infrastructure investment plan that we already have as government. Let women be encouraged to participate in the construction industry. Let them be empowered. Let them be given whatever information that they need. What we've done as well on our part was to come up with a radio talk show that empowers women on how to trade with government. What are you required to do for you to register your business with government? What does it mean for you to be compliant? What does it mean for you to be on the central database of government? All of those issues, we had to take it in the 11 official languages of South Africa, so that we reach out even to the most rural women who doesn't have access to data, who cannot attend our sessions or webinars, but at least through the radio, we have managed to reach out to those women and empower them. And some of the initiatives in partnership with the Office of the President itself was to train women on women-owned, those that are the women-owned businesses, just to train them on business issues, how to tender with government, what to do when they ask you for specifications. What are those specifications all about? Why do you have to comply? So I just see us doing a lot in making sure that we create an enabling environment so that women can compete with men as well, and the playing field is leveled at the end of the day, and there's equal participation in the economic space. At this stage, the gender inequalities are strongly challenged, and the programmatic interventions you are coming up with are intending to reverse those issues.
But what is stopping government from, for example, going to DBSA, the IDC Empowerment Fund, to the PIC and saying, let's create a fund for women-owned businesses specifically, so that they can come and access this money and be able to start those initiatives?
Okay, we are working with small business department. They are bringing in their entities as well to the picture. We are not working alone. We are working with IDC. They've already expressed an interest to work with us in one of our programs, the Sanitary Dignity Program, the one that issues sanitary pads to the girl children. But the manner in which they are coming to us is to make sure that the entire value chain of the Sanitary Dignity Program is translated to practice. From manufacturing, we have women that are already in the manufacturing space. We are building their capacity so that they can compete and enter the labor market, to storage, to distribution, as well as disposal, the waste management aspect, working quite closely with municipality, because there's an economic aspect within the waste management part of it, and that's part of the green economy. So for us, we think that we are on track, and these development partners are also coming on board, working with us, including the very DFIs that have come on board to work with us. Slowly, but we'll get there, and we intend to fast track. The President made an appeal to all of us that, yes, we recognize the work that you're already doing. Can you kindly upscale your intervention so that we reach more women, including the Women's Economic Fund, the Empowerment Fund that the President alluded to, that is led by the NEF. All of those resources will be pulled together.